All right, everybody, thank you for listening. We are brought to you by Boss Bears Supplements. Hard work, consistency, and determination are difficult to sustain when your mind and body can't keep up. Fuel your body with what it needs to perform like a boss. Whether you're closing deals, pitching a new business idea, or training in the gym, Boss Bears take your hustle to the next level. Our ingredients are the highest quality with potency and serving sizes that are the gold standard in the industry. Right here we got Boss Bears apple cider vinegar gummy bears. So Boss Bears supplements take regular supplements and put them in the delicious form of a gummy. These are the apple cider vinegar gummies and they are fucking delicious. The sugar content is pretty low. You're going to get all of your daily apple cider vinegar in delicious apple gummy flavor. Check it out. Go to bossbears.com and use code Nicky to save 10%. Okay, we are also brought to you by Clout Power Supplements. Cloutpower.com, Kloutpwr. Go to cloutpower.com and check out Clout Power Supplements. Use code Nicky to save 15% at checkout. They just came out with the new pre-workout flavor Space Candy. It is absolutely delicious. I've tried it myself. My favorite of the pre-workouts is the Mamba Extreme Pre because I'm a guy that likes stims. They also have a stim-free. They have a nootropic pre-workout called Karma that is also very good. They also have some delicious protein and just many great supplements. So go to cloutpower.com, Kloutpwr.com. Use code Nicky to save 15%. All right, man. Clout Power, baby. Let's go. Okay, welcome to the Nicky Free Podcast. We have powerlifter Sam Deason here. And Sam, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. A little tired, but
a little bit tired. What were you up to today?
A couple clients. Had to go meet with sponsor, try some stuff on.
Right, and you're sponsored by FX Subs.
FX Supplements.
What did you have going on with them today?
They ordered me a singlet that they're gonna get custom printed, and gonna get the logos and the quotes and everything put on it. And we were just making sure it fits because I haven't worn that brand before, so we're gonna make sure that fits.
And the singlets, those are something you guys wear at powerlifting meets,
yes,
correct? Okay.
It is a required piece of your what they call lifter's costume, and the rule book is what that's officially called.
Okay, so that's like part of, it's in the rules and everything. That's so it's just part of the thing.
It's just part of it, yeah.
You need it to compete. And so
if you're not comfortable wearing a singlet, then find another sport.
Okay, so FX Subs, they're getting you a custom one. Is it going to be like, what's it all got on it? Is it cool?
It's just going to have the FX logo on it, and then it's going to have non-negotiable written on there too.
So you can, represent for the product, I suppose. Okay. Yep. That's pretty dope, man.
Oh,
yeah. It's kind of like, UFC or whatever. They always have like sponsors on all
right. Well, they used to. You can't really do that.
They don't do that.
Can't do that too much anymore. They have their own like patented brands that they partnered with and everything now, so you can't just have like Dick's Towing
before
on your shorts and everything.
I remember when Brock Lesnar used to wrestle for WWE when he came back. Yeah, he'd always have the Jimmy John
stuff. Yeah, but you can't do that
anymore.
And it was like,
how the fuck?
They did a Reebok deal, which pissed off a lot of people, and a lot of people left the company for that. And now that it's not so bad, they're with Venom now. I mean, obviously, I have no real like idea of how it actually is, but from what it seems, at least the gear looks a little bit cooler and.
Right.
It's their own stuff now. It's not Reebok like pumping all of it out.
Okay, I think we're gonna like team up with Yeezys or something. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
we're about to team up. Adidas called me
Nate Diaz did his last fight, and there was an interview that got chopped because he had the Rock's shoes on. They were making him wear the Rock shoes, and like
he didn't like them.
During the interview, he pulls his foot up. He's like, "These shoes fucking suck, bro."
I saw that. Like, what was it?
Like, look at these shoes. They fucking suck.
Wonder what was it about the shoes that he didn't like?
He just said they suck. Like they're just uncomfortable ass shoes.
Oh, okay, so he just doesn't like the Rock's fucking shoes.
Yeah, it's nothing against him. I don't think it's just like these shoes are not good shoes.
These are bullshit.
Yeah.
Are you a shoe guy, Sam?
I am not a shoe guy, but I am.
You're a Crocs guy.
I am a Crocs guy.
Pull those fuckers out.
Let's see.
Those are legit, and I feel like all power lifters are into Crocs.
Definitely not. Honestly, you'll definitely more of the bigger guys, like the 250 plus guys, will see wearing a lot of slip-on shoes because bellies get a little bit bigger, and
right.
You know, when you're 4 or 5 weeks out, your back starts hurting a little bit. You start eating a lot. Blood pressure goes up.
Does your back start hurting? Like,
oh yeah, it starts getting pretty. I mean, you can mitigate a lot of it, and it depends on your training and how you lift and everything. But things start getting really creaky and achy around that 6 week out mark.
I wonder if that's something with, like strongman competitions too, where their body's just that beat up.
They experience they're a lot of preps, especially with powerlifting and strongman. A lot of it's just about surviving prep. It's
is it not
getting through it as healthy as possible?
But is it like a it's not like an injury, it's just a pain.
Yeah, it's not like you just wake up and it's just, you ever had those days where it just hurts to stand up and roll out of bed? Like, you're not, like, nothing's like, I didn't blow my pec off or tear something up in my back or anything like that. It's just like, fuck, this just hurts now.
Well, a lot of times, like, even today, like, I get up every day, usually around the same time. But, today's just like an off day for me, just cardio and everything. And so I kind of, and then I would train with you. I went down to your gym, which was awesome. I went and checked out Ego Gym.
Yep.
And I really liked it, dude. Super cool powerlifting gym. Like, everything for, like, people who are serious about powerlifting, not,
serious about just training.
Yeah, just
not
training.
Necessarily. I mean, we're definitely more catered towards those powerlifters and those strongmen.
Yeah, because you could do bodybuilding.
You can do anything.
You can do anything.
But you noticed how the mirror wasn't a full-length mirror?
Right.
It was cut off right at the top, so we don't get a bunch of people sitting there posing in front of the mirror.
Right.
It's
on
that. It's on purpose. It's on purpose, so you can't do that.
Right, and because you're trying to cater more to keep it more serious. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we all bullshit and we talk shit and everything and fuck around, but it's...
No, it's okay, man. You can like what you like, because it's like, there's so many different ideas, and like, it's even like some people, there's like some people that have differing opinions, but I want to get them like on here, even if they have different opinions than me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, we got the wonderful thing about powerlifting is you could have a world champion walking around the street, and you have no clue who they are.
Right, so they're not posting on social media.
Yeah, we have 5 world champions right now.
Right.
That people who have gone to Worlds, competed at Worlds, and won. We have 2 that are there right now in Australia.
Yeah.
We have 1 that just got back from Alabama who crushed 6 world records and won her class and won Worlds.
And she's not like chasing clout.
This is her 4th meet.
Okay.
So her 4th meet. She is 52 years old, single mom, and she just absolutely obliterated everybody.
No shit.
So
here, dude, pull that mic right up to you.
Yeah.
Just I'm worried about the audio. Sometimes it gets like when you talk into it, try to talk. You actually have a loud voice, so it should be fine.
I was gonna say.
I just worry sometimes I listen back to the audio on this, and like the guest is like way back here, and they sound so much quieter.
I'm so used to like having to
tone it down because dude, your voice is like But so I get your point though. Like, so you're saying it's kind of like there are these people that are not so always like look at me, and they're not posting on social media, and they're like these like and you're giving her props right now.
Yeah,
so it's
and
like,
it goes 2 ways. There's a lot of especially with the newer generation of lifters and everybody. And I'm not talking about anybody specifically.
Oh, dude, I saw that thing you posted, like the starter. I feel like that's like
fuck
me.
Them kids.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
But no, it's you're not special because you lift weights.
No.
You're not better than the the 35-year-old soccer mom who's got
Right.
who's got 3 kids because you can deadlift 600 pounds. Like, why does that make you better than anybody else?
I mean, it doesn't.
Like,
and then you're gonna miss out on all these other cool things.
Is what you're accomplishing incredible? Yes.
Yeah.
It is. But does that mean you should walk around all high and mighty with a chip on your shoulder? No.
Or think you're better than people.
No.
Yeah.
We lift like it's a niche of a niche sport. You know, lifting. You can categorize lifting as a sport, and then you can call powerlifting a subcategory of that category of sport.
Right.
So you're not even like the central category of you're a niche part of the niche part.
So you're just kind of like, it's like checking egos a little bit, and like, well, so like I always think it's like there's so many ways to achieve greatness, and it doesn't always have to be like revolved around lifting. Like a friend of mine has this she started this like craft beer bakery, and like I would say that her cakes are like an elite performance. You know what I'm saying? Like it has nothing to do with her like doing any, I mean, she has to physically mix and put the things together, but like, and then there's great artists who like, there's great artists, music, paint, there's so many different ways. And then there's also people that they don't have to achieve greatness, but they're great in their own way. Like maybe they're just humble and they go to work every day and they like provide for their family or something. Like that's great in a sense too. So I think it's all relative. It's all relative. I get what you're saying. Yeah. But like I totally thought that meme was hilarious because it is such a like.
Just don't think you're better than everybody else because you can deadlift 300 pounds. Like because you're not, and so I'll find 12 women that can deadlift more than you. So just come down off your high horse and stop forgetting about why you got into it in the first place. Is because you love it and it's fun.
Dude, that's what I was talking about. There's like so many women that could outlift a lot of guys.
I know. My very first experience, we'll say, with powerlifting was I had a buddy. I did a bodybuilding show. Yeah. And I had a buddy who was like, "Hey, you come do a powerlifting meet with me in the off season." I was like, "Okay, whatever. It's a good way to get strong." I didn't really know anything about it, and he took me down to his coach's gym. Who became my coach at the time? Todd Christensen. He owns Seattle Strength and Power down in Seattle. Also a gym that's got more world records and more world champions than you'll ever know. And I walk in there and I see this guy named Alan Tepper. He's 69 years old, rip a 500-pound deadlift off the ground. And I'm 17, and I haven't even deadlifted that much at that time. And I look at this, I'm just like, what the fuck? I mean, this old wrinkly guy who walking down the street, you just think he's a cripple, and he rips a 500-pound deadlift off the ground. I'm like, what the fuck?
But that's just years of like,
and I'm just like, this is awesome.
Well, that is cool about it because it's all about like him perfecting this technique over a number of years and probably just like slowly getting really good at it.
Well, also just being strong at 69 years old.
Dude, that's fucking
it's crazy.
Impressive.
It's awesome. And that was that. In that moment, I was just like, "Damn! Like, this is cool.
That is cool.
This is just cool." I'm like, this guy's 69 years old and he just deadlifted more than me. What the fuck is wrong? What is?
Did that make you question what you're doing?
Like, oh no, hell no! It made me
you're just like, I could be there someday.
I'm like, damn, man, let's go.
Yeah.
I hope I move that good when I'm 69 years old.
Dude, that's crazy because even like your pointers on deadlift kind of actually helped me with my squats this week.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Well, you learned how to feel things out a little bit differently.
Right. I stopped focusing so much on like trying to crunch this like core area and more on like my posterior chain and like sitting back into it. And I also read that starting strength book. Yep. So I read the chapter on squats and it was more about like what you said about like the core part and like the sitting back and like using the hams and glutes more.
Well, yeah, and it's a lot of people. There's a very common misconception about what a belt is for, and a belt's not.
Right, I was using it wrong actually.
A belt's a tool. It's not something. A lot of people think that's how you use it to protect your back, and you need to yank that thing as tight as you can get it, and that's gonna help your back. Every time that I've hurt my back, I've been wearing a belt.
Right.
It's a belt. So you're not gonna put a belt on and help yourself prevent injury. but you should be able to put a belt on and feel stronger, because a belt is a tool to be utilized to help you give your core something to brace against.
Right, and I'd say that was the biggest difference, where I actually was able to do 365, which that'd be what, three plates and 25s. Yeah. Yep. And I had been having trouble doing that, but it was because of the core bracing, the pushing out, and it was much more something where when I do it that way, I actually feel like I could do it without the belt.
Right.
Where before I had everything tucked in and like
you were sucking in
and you know,
quote unquote flexing it.
Yeah, I was like flexing my abs, where instead this way I'm like pushing out and getting like deep into my like I'd say abdominal floor,
because
almost.
Then that puts your posterior chain and your spine and your lower back in a better position.
And because I also read about more of the hip hinge movement and kind of what you said about sitting back more, and I'm like, okay, now I can't wait to kind of like, I'm gonna read the chapter on deadlifts.
Now you know it, you've seen it, and you felt it.
Because when I deadlifted with you, I felt so much different, and it was mostly glutes and hamstrings, I would say, that were much more engaged.
Yeah, you just built yourself a stronger base.
Yeah,
and you have so much, because of how tall you are. You have so much more tissue to work with. You have bigger muscle fibers. You have bigger spreads of hamstring and glute muscle. So you have so much more that you can engage and utilize than somebody who's 5'6", 5'7". Okay. You have a bigger source to pull from.
Right, and it was funny because like even that squat I did, my friend back home in Iowa, who's like really great power lifter, you'd get along with the dude. He even commented like, okay, that like about your form like much better or something. Yeah, looks a lot better. Yep. And I was like, damn, okay, so it is different when you think about it differently. Yeah.
Yeah, it's no more grip and rib.
Yeah. I think that what you said about creating tightness too.
Yeah, it's trying to build a spring.
Yeah.
You know, you're not just coming down and picking something off the floor. Mm-hmm. You know, think about pushing something
away. Where you like
away.
Spread the toes and even, you know, like it's like kind of grounding in a way.
Yeah.
Like,
think about pushing something away from the
pushing
floor.
The ground away.
Yeah. Like leg press the floor is a good cue that some people use. Is like you're not pulling something off the ground.
No, you're pushing the floor away from
you.
So you get the position set, hold it, and then push the floor away from you.
Right.
Versus pulling up.
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, dude.
Yep.
But no, I that was good for me to kind of get out of my. I've been grinding a lot, just doing the same stuff, and I think it's good to get different opinions and just even get into a different environment for a day. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Get out of a commercial gym.
Right. Yeah.
Clears your head a little bit. It lets you focus on what you're actually trying to do a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to. People get so plugged into throwing the headphones on and zoning out, and they don't even like think about what they're doing. And well, why would you not want to think about the workout you're doing? Like,
it's kind of like slow down and think about it.
Like when I'm prepping for a set or something, I'm checking off a mental checklist in my head, like as things go. You know, it's belt on, okay, feet, then start to lower, hips get low, glutes engage, grab the bar, flare out, brace, tight, pull.
And those are all cues, basically.
Yeah, but if you're zoning out, I get it. Like sometimes you just gotta throw the headphones in, you just gotta zone out. But like, why would you stop? Why would you not want to think about what you're doing?
And how are you ever gonna kind of tweak it? And
how are you gonna learn? How are you gonna figure out what works best for you if you don't think about what you're doing? My old coach too, Todd. Because I was also getting really wrapped up with throwing headphones on, and he looked at me when I was in prep. It was about 4 weeks out. I was supposed to hit my heaviest squat, and he was like, "Why do you got your headphones on?" I'm like, "What do you mean? Why do I got my headphones on? I'm trying to get hyped." He's like, "Can you wear them on the platform?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Then what the fuck are you doing?"
That's good advice because like you're not gonna have it there, so that might be like your crutch, and then you don't have it.
Oh, it absolutely. Can you control the music that plays at the powerlifting meet? No.
So you're trying to mimic the environment that you're gonna be in.
Yesterday, I posted it on my story. Yesterday, I hit a close grip bench PR while I was listening to Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
100%.
But you're not gonna have Lady Gaga at the meet.
But no, I'm not gonna have some metal shit. But
yeah.
I threw that wrench in the mix.
So So your point is like normally it'd be some kind of heavy metal.
Yeah, normally it's
but you're doing,
But I threw like the set before that I had Kesha on.
Yeah,
and me and my spotter are just sitting there going like, yeah, let's go, come on, because like obviously that's not going to be playing at a powerlifting meet. But if I can hit a PR to some Kesha or some Lady Gaga, what the hell am I going to do when they throw Slipknot on? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to make it even.
If better. I can get in the zone without the stuff I like,
the heavy shit,
then I'll be fine if it doesn't come on. But if it does come on,
right, you're like, I got to be able to hit a PR to Justin Bieber.
Next gear. Yeah, no, for real.
You're like, I got to be able to do this to Justin
Wednesday
Bieber.
is always weird music. Like, I only have pop songs playing on Wednesday, and
that's good, dude.
Yeah.
So I used to work at this bar, and like the kitchen dudes would, they were, kitchen staff. They're always fucking bunch of rowdy, crazy motherfuckers, chain smoking, drugs, alcohol, women, sex. They're wild. They're rock stars in the kitchen, like. But they would always do this thing where they did like boy band, whatever. So it'd be like In Sync, and one of the days was, and it's like they didn't even all like it, but it was just like let's put this mood on,
Yeah, it's just on.
But there was so it reminds me of like the pro wrestler Mick Foley. You remember Mick Foley? Like Mankind, Cactus Jack.
I love Mick Foley.
So he in his book talks about how he used to, and this would have been like at the time that he was kind of in the independents coming up before he made it to WWE, where he became.
Where he was being Cactus Jack typically.
Typically
persona.
Cactus Jack, and like he was doing those death matches and shit, and a lot of really violent stuff.
Yep.
And he said that he used to like beforehand he would have headphones and he would listen to this, and he said it was a weird juxtaposition because it was before he was about to go out and literally bleed and do barbed wire matches and do like. Exploding C4 matches and a lot of like really hardcore shit where like he's gonna push himself.
He's gonna get hurt. Yeah, you're just gonna get hurt.
But he would listen to this like Tori Amos, like this beautiful song that was like totally the opposite of what. And something about the beauty of it would get him into this evil headspace. Yeah. So it's kind of like what you're saying makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, well, it's just you can't like. It's just you.
I can't have Master of Puppets on at every fucking.
No, and like. And I understand that not every gym's got the ability to train to a competition standard. Fortunately, my gym's outfitted very well. We have all the kilo plates. We have all the bars that you're going to use. All the
saw
racks
that, dude. It was so like competition.
We have all the stuff to be able to train. But when you have that option, and like if I see another motherfucker who's 3 weeks out and he pulls his last deadlift on with straps and pound plates on, I'm going to lose it.
Because he can't do that in the competition.
You can't do that in competition.
Okay.
Can you wear straps in competition? No. Can you wear Can you use pound plates on the bar? No.
Right.
And all you're doing is you're making that deadlift easier for yourself.
Yeah.
And then you get to the competition, you wonder why you pull 100 pounds less.
So everything that you're doing, you're trying to mimic the actual competition, so that it's like.
Not everything that I'm doing when I'm training the competition lift.
Well, the competitors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so like I'm in off season right now, so I'm doing a lot of different variations of stuff. But if I've got on my program comp bench, I'm training that bench with a pause.
Right.
And I'm using kilo plates, and I'm using a power bar. If I have comp deadlifts, I'm lifting in the competition standard. I'm doing whatever stances I'm supposed to do, lifting with whatever bar and kilo plates.
Okay, yep.
If I'm squatting, then I'm squatting out of a combo rack with which is an open stand, no catch bars or anything, kilo plates, squat bar. Like I'm lifting.
So the only difference is you don't have your like singlet on.
When I'm in prep, I do.
You start wearing it.
Oh yeah, when I love training in my singlet.
You almost have to mimic it exactly. Right?
Yeah, it's just. You just get yourself to where you're not uncomfortable. So many people get uncomfortable on meet day because they're not used to wearing the stuff that they're normally supposed to. Everybody gets so obsessed with their gym fits and all that kind of stuff, and which I get to a certain extent. Like,
oh, dude, it's style, it's fashion.
Well, it's not just that. Like,
but you're right. Sometimes it's just clout.
There's also a placebo thing to it. If you wear the T-shirt where you look in the mirror and you think you look bigger.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna have a better gym day.
Yeah, I always think like look
you just
good,
are.
feel good.
You just are. If you're all covered up, and maybe that's your thing, but if you're all covered up and you can't flex that tricep, but maybe you got the tank top on, you're benching, and you just go. That's gonna be a little bit of
mental
a dopamine. That's gonna be a little bit of a boost where you're gonna be like, yeah.
Right.
Like, it's going to feel good. So, I mean, I get it from that
I think it's like look good, feel good, and I also feel like it's like self-expression in a sense. Like,
but you're not going to the runway.
But it's different
like,
with powerlifting.
I hope it is, but in my gym it is.
Yeah.
There's some other gyms where, everybody's got to have matching everything and blah, blah, blah. Just show up and train, man.
That's not your thing, yeah.
Just stop wearing. I'm fucking wearing.
Dude, if you were a pro wrestler, you'd be like you'd be like that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You'd be like the no nonsense kind of like.
Yeah.
I mean, even like Stone Cold Steve Austin was like that. Like, how did he tried all these different things, and then you know what made him like get over? Like, plain black trunks with nothing.
Nothing.
Shaved his head because he was going bald. Put on plain black trunks, plain black
goatee.
Boots. And just started being himself.
That's it.
And then that's why it's cool when you see different wrestlers because you'd see the different, like, then you have the complete opposite, Shawn Michaels, who's all about
showman.
The flair and showmanship.
He's a complete showman.
His extravagant pants, he'd wear these extravagant entrances.
Certain people it works with and certain people it doesn't. Yeah. Both of them are complete icons.
Oh my fucking
and Hall
God.
of Famers and some of the biggest
Dude, what's your
ever.
favorite shit with wrestling? Because you love that shit too, right?
I like goofy stuff sometimes, but it can get a little much. My favorite, oh man, I just love good like promo videos.
I love promos too.
Like those, I still look back to
dude.
My favorite one. I think it was The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think it was WrestleMania 21.
Yeah.
And they did a promo video with Limp Bizkit, My Way. Of them
so
leading, and I'm just like,
up,
man, like that's. I love good promo videos.
Like when Triple H used to use Metallica sometimes.
Yeah.
Like for me as a Metallica fan, like he'd like have like, I think it was like For Whom the Bell Tolls or something. Yeah. They did when they put those packages together.
Oh yeah,
those are part of the hype.
When him and Undertaker did the cage match, they did Memory Remains by Metallica. Yeah,
dude, that's like one of my favorite Metallica songs, which is weird because it's from those albums everybody hates. But
but it's just
we were talking about that video. Remember that video, Memory Remains, where they're like swinging on that thing, the music video?
Yep.
Because we were talking about old horror movies and how they used to have to use practical effects and like. In the old Freddy Krueger movie, they like had to make the house upside down, or it was like a moving room because the girl was like up on the ceiling and she's getting stabbed. But so the way they did that is they made a room that actually rotated.
Right.
And I'm like, well, the Metallica Memory Remains video, they were standing on this thing, and in the video it looks like they're swinging back and forth, but they're actually standing still, and they built like a fucking room that was rotating around them and shit. But yeah, those promo packages, dude.
And then probably the Royal Rumble.
Which one?
Just
anytime it's on.
Anytime it's on. That's the best. I still think I think that's better than WrestleMania.
That's like up there for me too. I definitely think WrestleMania, SummerSlam,
you never have that much talent in one place, dude. I know they go like, oh, you never know who's good, but yeah, you don't.
Dude,
you don't know who's gonna show up. In 2020 in the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, nobody knew that Edge was coming.
Dude, how cool was Edge's return?
That was the most beautiful wrestling moment I think I've ever seen. Being a fan, watching it since I was young.
And then Christian was in there too, remember?
Christian was in 2021.
Oh, 2021. So Edge comes back 2020.
That was the last one they did before COVID and the live events got canceled.
And so then 2021, Christian comes back. They have a moment where it's like, whoa, Edge and Christian in the ring the first time.
But you see Edge come back and like he's just got this look in his eyes, like he looks like he's about to cry. Because like his career was taken from him. He got injured and the doctors told him he can't wrestle anymore, and he didn't get to stop on his own terms.
Right. So for people that don't know, 2011 Edge had to retire because of
neck problems. Which I mean, as a wrestler, that's just about as bad as it gets. It's the same reason that Stone Cold Steve Austin had
numbing things going on.
And then nobody, usually there's rumors that cycle around that someone so and so is been seen back. They kept it quiet.
So no one had a
Nobody,
clue.
and then his music hit, and I'm just like watching, like, oh.
Dude, I might go back and rewatch.
And he comes out, and you just see like on his face, like this I get to do this again. Even if that
after thinking it's been taken away.
Even if it was the last time that he got to do it, he at least got to do it one more time. And now he's having a great career resurgence. He's still pretty. I mean, he's old. He's old for a wrestler.
Dude, he looks great.
He's old for a wrestler.
He's 47.
Yeah, but he's got, he's a little injury prone. He always has been through his whole career.
Yeah.
He's always been a little fragile, so they got to kind of take care of him a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that was probably my favorite moment that happened
recently.
I don't know, Cody Rhodes coming back to WWE.
Cody Rhodes, baby, that
was pretty iconic. That was pretty, and he got to come back his way. He got to come back as the American Nightmare.
Yeah, because he put all that work in
to his song. He's not the character that people want him to be anymore. He is the character that he wants to be.
Yeah.
Same with what.
How powerful is that, man?
Same with what Chris Jericho did. Chris Jericho doesn't go to New Japan Wrestling after he leaves WWE and goes by a different name. No. He's Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Same with people like Christian Cage. Christian Cage has been in 4 or 5 different promotions now, and he's been Christian Cage.
Talk about another dude that still looks great.
Yeah,
for his
still
age
doing
too,
it.
Still working at an awesome
Still doing
rate.
it. But
dude, Jericho's 50.
Yeah, Jericho's got a title.
He actually just got abs again.
Yeah,
like he just leaned up.
It's it's incredible.
He was like on the road with Fozzy drinking all the time. He got chubby.
You want to talk about people? So look at Billy Gunn and Sting.
Dude, they both look amazing.
Billy Gunn is having the greatest run he's ever had in his career at 58
I love
years
this
old.
fucking scissor me daddy shit.
Yeah.
Like,
and then I about started jumping up and down when Sting debuted in AEW. Sting's been my favorite.
What do
wrestler.
you think about Sting? I think he's doing awesome shit.
I love
there.
Sting. Pairing him with Darby Allin was awesome.
Cool.
I didn't know that was coming, and I saw the he got to come out with the snow blowing and everything.
Yeah,
I was like,
there was
damn.
like the winter is coming thing.
And hearing that iconic, it's Sting.
Well, and the cool thing is, Tony Schiavone was the one who was announcing. Which
and
nothing more iconic than Tony Schiavone.
Tony just yelling, "It's Sting!"
Yes, dude. I fucking love it.
And I'm just like, oh my god, that was beautiful.
My friend at the other gym, he's always kind of like, oh, I don't really like Sting. He's great.
Sting.
I love talking to him.
Stinger.
He's a great guy, but he talks old wrestling all the time, and he's not. I'm like, how do you not like?
He was the only reason that I tuned into Impact Wrestling was because of Sting. TNA, I watched it for so long because of him, and it got me into a lot of other people. AJ Styles wouldn't be who he was without that promotion.
Impact, really. A lot of guys did good work there. It was just the promotion that was
Kurt Angle had some really good work. Samoa Joe made his name there.
Dude, I even liked when Foley and Flair went there during
Foley
that
was hilarious when he was over there.
Remember Flair and him had a thing?
Yeah, that was weird.
They had some good promos.
I'm still a little iffy on Flair. Flair's definitely iconic, but Flair's not as good as everybody says he is.
You're not a Flair guy. You're more of a Bret Hart guy.
I love Flair's character, and Flair is iconic, but Flair does what he wants to do. And anybody else that says, let's do this instead, nope.
Everybody's kind of working around him.
Yeah.
And that's because they all have such tremendous respect for him, but you're right, he couldn't. So, to me, the greatest of all time would be Shawn Michaels and, probably Bret Hart.
If we're talking performer, Shawn Michaels is the greatest of all time. If we're talking from character to ring performance
Rock,
to
maybe.
Entrances, if we're talking the whole 9 yards of wrestling, Shawn Michaels is probably the number one guy.
I mean, he's my number one of all time.
If as far as icons go, you can't. It's the Undertaker.
The Undertaker.
The Undertaker. I can still a gong will hit and I'll go. Ugh.
Dude, I looked at something from the craziest thing about Taker was you know, we watched him in the 90s, and then they turned him into, like, the Ministry of Darkness Undertaker, then the American Badass thing.
Loved American Badass Undertaker.
I loved it. I remember watching that it was Judgment Day. Me and my buddy watched the pay-per-view, and when he came out as the American Badass, and it was still like the Kid Rock song back then.
The Kid Rock.
Lost our shit.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
And
then they roll it into Limp Bizkit rolling.
Rolling.
And it was just
those were some cool. But you know what?
I love that era, era specifically, like 2002 to 2008. That was probably, I think, the greatest era of wrestling.
Yeah, that was actually my favorite too. As much as I love the '90s stuff.
Well, I mean, when I was 5 years old, and then my favorite Royal Rumble ever when Triple H came back from his quad surgery,
huge,
and everybody just
lost their fucking mind.
Like that's when he became the superstar that he is now.
Plus, as much as people hated Triple H because they got so tired of him,
he's good.
He's one of the best ever.
I can't tell you. I mean, how many times did he blow a muscle off in the ring
and he'd be back
and kept going?
Oh,
he tore his pec. He's torn his quad in the ring twice.
That pec thing was during that match where Shawn Michaels came back and they did Brothers of Destruction versus...
Which, in all honesty, they shouldn't have done it.
They really shouldn't have done it, but you know what? It was Saudi Arabia money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
Saudi Arabia money is fucking
nuts.
real.
Well, they're right now, because Saudi Arabia is the next pay-per-view.
You know who's making a lot of money off that?
Braun Strowman and Omos is what they're doing, and they're doing two.
Well, I was thinking Logan Paul's about to.
Well, but they're doing no. They're doing two big man meat matches. They're doing
for the Saudi Arabia.
Omos versus Braun Strowman, which if you don't know,
dude, I love Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman is a former pro strongman.
He's huge.
He is legit strong.
Oh, like just one of the strongest people that exist.
And then
he got leaned up too.
Yeah, but then they got Braun and Omos, right? And then they're doing Lashley versus Brock Lesnar.
That's huge.
So they're just going man meat against man meat.
Dude, I'm gonna watch that.
Then you got Logan Paul and say what you will, I don't like the Paul brothers too much, but the guy is talented.
I'm into it.
Like he came out first match WrestleMania, and the dude did a cross body from the top rope onto the announce table. Yeah. Like there's a lot of people who have done it for 10, 20 years who still can't do that as well as he did.
I just watched him doing a backflip off the rope, and they got Shawn Michaels there watching him, and I was like, how iconic. And
Shawn has spoken out and said like he is seriously talented.
Yeah.
Do I like him? No.
Probably not.
But do I appreciate what he's doing? Absolutely.
But you know what? That was Shawn Michaels. Did anybody like him? He doesn't even like him from back then.
Shawn doesn't like Shawn.
He even says like he's like, I don't know how I was that person. He's like, I don't even relate to who that person was, because he's talking about, he was just on that MMA podcast, that one dude that always does it, and he'll have pro wrestlers on too a lot.
Chael Sonnen?
No, it's I think it's called the MMA show. I can't remember who the host. The host is not an athlete, but he's just like a fan of MMA.
Yeah.
But he was saying like, talking about the Bret Hart screw job stuff, and Sean's like, even I don't know who I was back then. It was so different. But like, he also says, I don't know that I would have gotten as far as I did if I didn't have that dickhead mentality. Because I think he was small.
So many of those guys back then were assholes. Triple H was a prick.
Right. But I think Shawn had that small man thing. Like, he had been told you're too small so much that he got this fucking ego, and he protected himself by being an asshole.
He was good looking.
He had that going.
He knew how to talk, and he was athletic.
One of the best athletes.
So he played into he's the Heartbreak Kid.
But he had a huge chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, he was the Heartbreak Kid. But he had like 3 different stages of career, He had that early...
My favorite is the comeback.
Yeah,
2002 to his retirement. That's my favorite.
He had the Rockers, and then when he turned on Marty Jannetty and just became the Heartbreak Kid and did all the original DX
The OG DX Shawn might actually be my favorite.
When they weren't all goofy and fun. Like, a lot of people forget, like, when DX was first around, they weren't necessarily all goofy, and Triple H brought a lot of the goofiness in.
And Shawn's matches at that time were like unbelievable.
Oh, Sean had an incredible match with a broken back against Stone Cold.
Oh, dude, that's one of my favorite matches. The Mike Tyson thing.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 14, because I was a kid.
Yeah.
That's like one of my favorite memories of wrestling. Like Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Main event, WrestleMania 14. Mike Tyson turns on Shawn at the end. Or turns on Stone Cold at the end.
Yeah.
He's with DX.
Yeah.
And then he turns on Shawn at the end and he punches Shawn.
Yeah.
And it's still one of my favorite moments where Shawn's like, what are you doing? And then he just fucking punches him. But that match, you're right, Shawn's back was fucked.
Yep.
And he's still doing crazy shit in that match.
Yeah.
Dude. I remember I used to rent that fucking VHS, dude.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 14.
Oh, the Icon versus Icon match when Hulk Hogan came back from
against Shawn?
No, against The Rock.
The Rock, WrestleMania 18.
Yeah, that match specifically, I bought that so many because that was especially when I was still a kid. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's Hulk Hogan and everything, but then you got The Rock, and
Well, the thing is, at that point, Hogan's wasn't having good matches.
No.
He'd made all that money in WCW, and it's not like his match quality was ever that great to start with.
He came back trying to be a bad guy, and the crowd did not let him.
In that match, something happened, dude. Hogan was
a switch.
I mean, The Rock was The Rock.
Well,
that was magic.
The Rock brought it out of him. Was he showed him what it was like to be a showman again.
Right, and I think Hogan fed off the crowd and everything.
Oh, he completely let go of his Hollywood character during that match. Like he was Hogan.
Kevin Nash, Kevin Nash.
I love Kevin Nash. He's one of the funniest.
Dude, he's hilarious. He'll just sit around, drink wine, and be like, "It's all about the business. I'm about making money." He's
love
just funny.
Kevin Nash.
Dude, he was saying about that match. He's like, you guys don't understand. He's like, I know Hogan's work rate. He's not that great of a wrestler.
Yeah.
He was Hulk Hogan in the 80s though, so it was what it was.
Yeah.
But he's like, you guys don't get it. Every once in a while, that guy just fucking steals the show.
And he just it was the perfect storm. It's Hogan just comes back from WCW.
Yeah.
And then The Rock is the hottest thing in the world. There's no title. There's no nothing.
Didn't matter.
It was just a literal...
It's new versus old.
It was the literal once-in-a-lifetime match. You're never going to see this again.
It's one of the best matches of all time.
It's never going to happen. It's just... It's icon versus icon, and you can't... there's only a very, very few people that you can say are as iconic or more iconic than those two.
Honestly, if I had to pick, that's one of the best matches of all time. I'd say like the Shawn Michaels Bret Hart Iron Man match is up there for me.
Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker.
25.
The first one. Yeah, 25.
That's, if I had to say, that's probably the greatest match of all time.
That's one of them. I really liked John Cena versus JBL.
Yeah, actually JBL's amazing.
That was a
dude,
really
people
good...
shit on JBL, but that
JBL's
guy is
great.
Even like I hated him when he turned into JBL because I actually love Bradshaw.
But it's because you hated him.
It's because he was so good at his job. I was supposed to hate him.
He was so good at being the cocky rich asshole. I'm a wrestling god.
That is such a good character.
Yeah. And now that character's back right now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's managing Baron Corbin.
Which I think Baron Corbin's super talented.
Baron Corbin's walking around with the cowboy hat and everything. He's like, he is now a wrestling god. And like, I'm just like,
I need to watch that because I've heard that since Triple H took over, they've been having
a lot of people
so much better shows.
A lot of people who got let go. I mean, Braun's back. Bray Wyatt's back.
That's huge. I think Bray Wyatt's awesome.
There's been a big resurgence of people coming back, and he's trying to get his hand. There's so many people that are crying because they signed deals with AEW. Like I know he wants.
Well, because
he wants Aleister Black back really bad. He wants all his NXT guys back because Johnny Gargano's back.
Dude, Triple H is so smart with that shit because there was a period like when I first started going for WWE tryouts, like 2010, 11-ish.
Yeah.
There was this weird period where like after that kind of era that you were talking about, the 2002 to 2008,
early 2000s.
There was this, and they still do it. It's like it got to this period where they were only. It seemed like they would only get guys that looked like they had like great physiques or like in Triple H, William Regal.
Well,
they took over and they kind of brought back the idea that you can we need to go back to like
the big
Well, different body types.
Yeah.
Not everybody has to look like a bodybuilder. Because
Vince
Vince loved
Vince
bodybuilders.
McMahon was obsessed with
Because
bodybuilders
he's like part
and
gay, you know,
and
like,
football players.
Yeah, it's
you
like,
know, people got like Vince wasn't a wrestler. Vince did some stuff in the ring, but Vince was not a wrestler. Triple H had I think a 30-year career.
Well, Triple H understands you need the Mankinds, you need the Vaders, you need these different body types. So he'll have a guy like Bray Wyatt. Does Bray Wyatt have a bodybuilder physique?
No,
but he's one of the greatest.
Wyatt's one of the most
Kevin Owens.
popular. Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is one of the most. Him and Chad Gable are probably the two most underrated wrestlers right now.
You know that
Chad Gable did a German suplex to Braun Strowman, and if he would have done that back in the 80s, he'd be the biggest star in the world. That was like Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
He'd be the literal biggest star in the world right now, but they're not even...
They just don't know how to do that anymore.
But if you notice, if you watch, anytime somebody comes back, they throw him in a match with Chad Gable.
But Triple H does know how to build stars.
Because Chad is so good that he can make anybody look good.
Because he's just a phenomenal athlete.
So they throw anybody in the ring. Like Johnny Gargano came back, throw him in the ring with Chad Gable. Braun Strowman
he's got a high work rate.
Throw him in the ring with Chad Gable. Yeah. He's just a tank.
So you know what's funny? I was going to tell you, like, when I was at my tryout in Florida, it was like a 3-day tryout at the PC, the WWE Performance Center.
Yep.
That is when Kevin Owens was there, right before he got signed.
Yep.
He was in my group. It was like 50 people, and his name was Kevin Steen at the time.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he had already kind of, I think, gotten a name on the independent circuit somewhat.
Yes, yeah.
So he was already super good at wrestling. So, like...
He was coming up around the same time that Daniel Bryan was.
Yeah, and the funny thing
Daniel
is,
Bryan just got the deal first.
So they did all this cardio shit, and they destroyed. I mean, they killed us. It was just like, it was like drill, 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 and you had a number, and you'd get in this line, and you'd go through, and there's 5 rings, and they'd put you in, and you do a move, put you in, and they were extra hard on him because he already had a name.
Well, of course.
And I can't. Bill DeMott was the guy. He used to wrestle as I can't remember who, but you would know him if you saw him. I can't remember his wrestling character, but he was so hard. He'd be like, "Come on, Steve!" Like he was just, and Kevin Owens is like, the cardio stuff. He was lagging. I mean, he was like in the back, kind of, and fucking that guy was so on his case, like about, "Come on, Steve, you gotta be able to keep." But it's like, then he had his tryout match, and you could tell like this guy's so fucking. He doesn't need cardio.
No, he's
so fucking good. Yeah. I mean, and when I say he doesn't need cardio, clearly he does need cardio. But I'm saying, some of the drills and shit they put you through, it's just to break you down. It has nothing to do with your ability in the ring.
He's a performer.
And he was great in the ring, yeah. But, yeah, dude, that was some cool shit.
Yeah.
We also had this one guy that, like, he was the dude that was, like, you ever, like, in a group, because you coach people and stuff, there's, like, this certain guy that, like, all the cardio stuff, he, like, faked an injury, basically.
Yeah, tries to get out of everything.
And he, like, was sitting, like, "Oh, I heard I pulled something." But then when we got to, like, a fun portion, like, the actual weightlifting part, all of a sudden he's magically good again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But when it came to the cardio, then, I got to sit this out.
I've dealt with this.
And that dude, and I remember the guy that was training, Bill DeMott, he's like, "Is that motherfucker sitting on the wall again?" Like, he was pissed, you know?
Yeah.
I still remember the dude's name. I'm not going to say it, but I did not like the guy. I think he's a pussy.
People just don't like hard work, you know.
Yeah.
So there's a lifter named his name is Dave Hoff. He's got the largest total ever. I mean, he's a multi-ply lifter, so he's in equipment. But biggest total ever, which is 31,002.
Got it.
3,102.
Okay. Damn. Yeah.
And he was talking, and he's like, people don't lifting heavy weights sucks.
Right.
It hurts. Now, wired a little bit differently. I fucking love it. I get an endorphin like no other when I hit a huge fucking squat. Like, I'm on that high.
Because it's tremendously hard.
For a week, I am on that high. But it hurts. It sucks. You stand up with it, you feel all that weight on your spine, and you gotta step. And you gotta sit there with it.
Yeah.
And then you gotta go down and up. And you got to sit there with it. And you got to step. It sucks. And he was talking, people don't want to go through those shitty feelings.
Yeah.
You know, he was talking about is like, I could do this too. You could take a 10-week program, lay it out for somebody, and this will get you from this point to this point if you do it.
Yep.
But people don't want to do it.
Right.
The you know, majority of the people, 99.9999999% of the people in the world are going to tell you, no, I don't want to squat 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, I know.
It's why, but I hear that.
I just want to look sexy. Like,
but I hear that, I'm like, yeah.
You're like, I want to squat 1,000 pounds.
Oh, yeah, like if you told me I could squat 1,000 pounds right now, but I had to give you one of my fingers,
you'd do it.
It's just a finger. I got 9
yeah.
more.
Dude, that's so crazy because it's like, what is that?
Yeah. Well, it's like,
this drive to attain something.
Yeah, it's just it's really.
You said it's like people are wired different.
It is differently like.
Yeah.
If you think about it, especially from a working out standpoint, it's other than getting healthy, it's stupid to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like you enjoy because when you're working out and getting stronger and looking better and everything, you're tearing your body up.
Yep.
You're tearing muscle down. You're hurting yourself.
Yeah.
So your body grows back stronger.
Right. Even every leg day for me, it sucks.
When you're sore, you're hurting yourself. You're hurt, but you like it. You're like you don't some
and you
people
crave it because it's like
some people like they'll train and be like, oh, that sucked, I'm so sore, but others like me, I'm gonna be like the next day like, man, that was a good squat session.
Yeah.
I'm so happy about how like today I had a really good bench day yesterday, and my arms, my biceps are sore. My biceps haven't been sore in a long time, and I'm just kind of like, oh, nice.
It makes you feel good. Huh?
And then when you're not sore, you're also like,
I just start feeling.
Did I work hard enough?
Yeah, well, it's for me. I just start feeling like lazy.
But yeah, it's
like my body gets less usable when I start. If I'm not putting in that work, doing those things you say, like putting myself through that hard stuff, my body starts feeling unusable.
Yeah.
Like weak.
But
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's definitely just a different like.
But you're on a whole nother level of like.
It's definitely a different mindset to really like push to get stronger and like try to take that to a extreme.
Yeah.
You know, because you get to a certain point where you're doing stuff that could cripple you if something goes wrong.
And I think that's what's so interesting to me about powerlifting. Like even when earlier you were talking about where you're not listening to headphones because you're going to think about all these little cues.
Yeah.
You're thinking about this, then you think about this, here's my feet position, then you're thinking about this. Well, the thing is, like, if you're not, like, somebody else that's lifting, like, just doing bicep curls, they can put their headphones in and crank them out and it's fine. But, like, the amount of weight that you're lifting, if you're not fully concentrating and your nervous system isn't fully functioning and capable, and you're not thinking of, you could literally hurt yourself tremendously. Yeah.
But also, like, you need to be willing to be a little scared.
Because otherwise you're not going to get past that point. You're not going
to be able to put, like, there's been a lot, like, I have a lot of shoulder and pec problems just from injuries and stuff. And there's a lot of instances where I'm warming up, especially during prep, and it's like, oh, fuck, man, something's tight.
And it gets a little scary.
And it gets tight, but I'm like, it's prep time, you got to hit this 405 for a double, right? Yeah. And you got to do it. You're 5 weeks out, you're 6 weeks out right now. You got to do it. No choice. So it's like I'm a little scared going into that lift because it's like, man, I might tear my pec completely off.
Right.
So then, like, the whole time thinking about that lift, okay, I got to do this, and this completely right, or my pec's gone.
Yeah.
And then I do it and it doesn't even hurt.
And you're like, okay, that was good. I got through that.
Like,
I know what you mean though. It's different than like just a regular kind of lifting.
Yeah. It's you gotta be willing to get a little scared. You gotta
with the amounts of weight you're lifting.
Yeah. Because some lifts it's not that big of a deal, but squat especially, like that can be a completely uncontrolled, like a deadlift. If a deadlift's not happening, you can drop it.
Yes.
You can't drop a squat.
Yeah.
You can't drop it. You're either dropping or you're making it. So you gotta be willing to do it. If you told me there was one lift that I could only do for the rest of my life, that's it. Squat.
You know what's funny? I was reading that book, that Starting Strength book, and Mark Ripito, and he does say that, like, said if there's one best lift for the overall body, just nothing beats it. It is squat.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, because it's the only thing that basically you could just do a squat and it would keep you in shape. Basically.
Yeah.
It's basically full body.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about how natural of a movement it is as a human being, especially before we had podcasts where we're sitting for hours.
We're not built to bench press.
No,
we're not. We're built to pick things up and put them down.
I would say the overhead press with the barbell is a more natural movement than the bench press.
But we're not built to lay on something, take a weight out over our chest, and press it on. We're not.
That's why I think the overhead press is more natural, and you would be doing that.
We're built to pick things up off the floor, push things over our head, and put shit on our shoulders and carry it.
Yeah.
That's what we're built to do.
Right.
And sometimes you got to bend down and dump that shit off and then pick up another load. You know, that's what we're built to do. We're not built to bench press.
You ever see those dudes like doing the stone things where they got to kind of curl their back and they get it up to the knees and then they get up and then they get it to a state. But there's that weird spot. And I've like lifted really heavy things before too. And it's weird because like you're always thinking of like lifting, you're going to have a neutral spine and all that stuff.
Yep.
But there is that thing in the bottom when you're lifting something heavy. You got to just get it here and then over your knees. And then once it's on your knees, then you can straighten the back up. Yep. And then you lift it and then you kind of get it up and you can put it on something.
Yeah. I'm a huge strongman fan.
The cement ball
huge strongman super fan. I could tell you that.
The stones, I
can tell you the guy who's won every single World's Strongest Man from the year 2000 to now.
Dude, that's crazy.
I can tell you every single one. But it's such a high risk sport.
Yeah.
And there's that when we're talking sports where genetics plays a lot into it,
you gotta have huge.
You don't see a world's strongest man who's 5'10".
No.
They're all 6'3".
Dude, that shit is so crazy.
They're all 340 pounds plus.
Yeah.
So you don't. So I figured out a long time ago. I was like, I have a chance to be a pretty good power lifter. I'll never be a world record holder. Right. I mean, never say never, but it won't happen. I have a chance to be able to be in the same.
But you can be really good and be a great coach.
I can be in the same meet as those guys at some point.
Yep.
I'm not gonna beat them, but I can be there. I could be a mediocre strongman.
Right.
I could be.
Have you ever thought about doing it?
Not while I'm still focused on being as good a powerlifter as I can be.
Yeah.
Because, I could fuck around and do one strongman event for fun and tear my bicep.
You could fuck around and find out.
Yeah, but
that's basically what happens.
Exactly. And
be like, I'll fuck around, but then
there's a lot of the events that I'll train in the off season just for fun, like to get my bench up. I'll log press.
Yeah.
I'll run a yoke. I'll do farmer. I do farmers.
Dude, I think farmer walks are just so
farmers
fucking good.
I do farmers a lot. I have a lot of people that ask me about my traps, and I've never done a trap workout in my life.
It's just because farmer walks are so good for your posture.
I just do farmers and deadlifts, and that's it. But
even deadlifts are good for your traps and posture, I imagine.
So, but no, it's just not for me.
How you feel right now? You feel pretty beat up or pretty good?
I'm good. I'm good. Nothing's really. My hip's a little sore, but other than that, that's just something that I just deal with on and off. But no, I'm at a point now where I feel pretty comfortable with everything.
Yep.
I feel like I'm in the best scenario right now to really push myself as far as I can go. I'm working for myself now, so I can regulate.
Dude, that's huge.
I can regulate all aspects of my schedule.
Just your gym, what you got going on, man. It's fucking awesome.
It's all. I can control every aspect of that now.
Yep.
And then that means I can control every aspect of my food, my training, my recovery.
You're not at some day job that's taking up your time.
Exactly.
You have your own schedule. I mean, you got to cut a schedule. I'm sure.
Now's the time to let everything off the chain.
Yep.
And go for it. I've got one of the best coaches in the world, in Joe Sullivan, world record holder, world class lifter, has been doing it 15 years now, I think at least. I've got some great people around me supporting me. I've got my wife. I've got good friends. I've got good training partners. I got a lot of people. I'm set up right now to really push And so now's the time to push.
I think you're right, man. And just like, having that gym, dude, like,
yeah,
I mean, imagine when you were just young and you're starting out in powerlifting. Would you ever think, like, I'm going to have my own gym and it's going to be really badass. I'm going to have all the, like, Olympic quality stuff.
Yes
and
no.
Like, you could see it already, kind of. Yeah.
So it was always the goal.
Yeah.
Never in a million years did I think it was going to happen when I'm 25.
Yeah, that's the cool thing.
So, like, when I'm like, it was always the end goal. Owning a gym and having that space, creating that space, and giving this environment and trying to give back to the sport and help the sport grow. That's always been the goal. Yeah. And I've always wanted to be a gym owner. But I never, ever, ever thought that was going to happen when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
I was there's no way.
Dude, that's impressive.
But just, things fell into place, good opportunities came around, and here we are.
Yep.
And I took a leap, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. This is too much of an opportunity not to capitalize on, and here we are.
Dude, it's pretty amazing.
I feel... I had a really interesting day yesterday, which was I had a really good reminder of why I do everything.
What you do?
I had a really fun day of training yesterday, laughing with everybody in the gym, had a good day training clients. A lot of people were very thankful for stuff. I had hit some PRs on close grip bench. I got a really good pump afterwards. Hit some poses, which I don't do very much anymore,
Yeah.
And it was a good reminder that this
is what I'm meant to
This
be
is
doing.
fun.
Yeah.
This is fun.
And life should be fun.
You get wrapped up every once in a while. Well, not a lot of the time. You get wrapped up in the process and everything you do. And you just kind of go into autopilot. But yesterday was a very good reminder. It's like this is just this. I got into this because lifting's fun.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun just lifting yesterday, and I just feel very, thankful for what I'm able to do at my age.
Yeah, dude, it's huge.
It's I don't take any of it for granted. I get to go home every day with a smile on my face.
Yeah.
So
it makes it worth it.
Yeah, it's incredible. I have some amazing clients who are just the best, and it's incredible.
You probably get a lot back from having clients and helping people.
Everybody teaches me how to be better.
Yeah.
I will take on. There's just about anybody that I'll take on. Now, if we don't get along, then obviously.
Have you ever had to do that where you've had a client where you're just like, this ain't it?
Oh, I've dropped clients before.
Just they weren't.
I had a guy, and I won't say his name. Let's call him Bob.
Yep.
And we were he just wouldn't listen to me. He's a retired guy, made a lot of money, very successful, owns a boat, goes on vacation all the time, but he's significantly overweight.
Yeah.
And to the point where it's starting to be a big detriment to his health. He's in his 50s.
Yep.
He needs to start taking care of himself. And
for health reasons.
He finally, listened to me. He finally got on his diet and did everything. He lost 19 pounds in 3 weeks.
Jesus.
But then he went on another trip.
And it was gone.
Gained it all back. And I sat down with him and I was like, all right, so we're going to find somebody else. This is when I was still working at a big box gym. And I was like, all right, we're going to find somebody else for you to work with.
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, you're not, obviously you don't respect me enough to listen to what I have to say.
Yeah.
And like you're paying me, right? We have this agreement that you believe in me and that I know what I'm doing, and I know what I'm doing, and my job is to get you to where you want to be. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, there's because you should never. I mean, there's the customer's always right, the client's always right. There's instances where you've done all you can,
right?
But I just had that talk with him, and I said, look, what are we doing here? Now, when he's at the gym, busts his ass. Harder than anybody. He's burning 2,000-3,000 calories a workout. But it's everything outside. And I told him, I was like, look, we need an understanding here. How you're doing is also a reflection on me. You tell everybody that you want to lose 100 pounds. Well, we've been working for 6 months and we don't have anything to show for it. So that makes me look bad. And that makes you look bad for failing the commitment. So, do you want to just come in here, feel better about yourself, and let me beat your ass into the ground with workouts 2-3 times a week, and then you go home and do whatever the fuck you want afterwards? If that's all you want, then that's what you want. If you're going to listen to me, then we'll get this done. If you're not going to listen to me, then we're going to find another trainer for you. Because I don't got the time to waste my time on somebody who's not going to listen to me.
But also,
when there's somebody else out there who needs my help and is actually going to listen.
Right, and I think, doesn't it get hard to watch somebody not take care of themselves?
Oh, it's absolutely horrible, especially when you're in the big box gym stuff. You'll form these attachments and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get friendly with people, and then you won't see them for 3-4 months, and then they come back, and then they gain weight, or something happened, and it's just hard. But you got to understand that you're in a position to where this is what you do professionally, and you need to kind of peel back that morality a little bit.
Yep.
And you need to have real talks with people. Like, look, maybe I'm not the guy for you. I've had that happen where I've had clients who did not make a lick of fucking progress with me. We just didn't click. I don't know what it was. Gave them to another trainer, and then it off to the races.
I feel like there is different people that mesh well with other people.
Yeah. But I won't, as long as you're not an asshole, I will take on any client. I don't care what your goal is. I don't care if it's you want to be the greatest powerlifter in the world, or you want to lose 200 pounds, or you just want to feel less pain when you walk, or whatever. Right. I don't care, because at the end of the day, when we're done, and we've done successfully what you want, you're a walking billboard advertisement for me. Mm-hmm. And
it's a reflection of you,
yeah,
the client.
You are shown. I don't have to say anything anymore.
Right.
Everybody else is going to look at you and go like, damn, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
I want to train with that guy.
Yep.
And then on my end, it's you helped me become better by giving me a situation that maybe I wasn't 100% comfortable.
Yeah.
I have a lot of older clients, a lot of clients that are over 50 years old. And when I first started being a trainer, I was not comfortable with training those people.
Yeah.
Now I love it.
Right.
Absolutely love. One of my clients, Debbie, she's just a rocket. I love her.
Yeah.
She was pissed when I first got her because nobody really let her off the chain. Mm-hmm. And then I had a test week with her where I saw what she could handle. So it was
more like people wouldn't push her because she was older?
Yeah, because she was older. She was recently retired, and
she didn't like being handled with kid gloves.
She needed something to do.
Okay.
She hated sitting at home, and you can only garden so much. So she's like, I want to come to the gym, and I want to get in better shape, and I want to feel better. And I took that week period where I'm trying to figure out and testing her a little bit and then the next week I got her leg pressing, and I got her squatting, and I got her benching, and I got her pushing a 400-pound sled and up and down the turf.
So pushing hard in a safe manner.
Yeah, finding out what she can do, but then letting her go. Letting her work hard. A lot, especially with senior clients, a lot of people forget that if a body is just stronger, that person's going to be healthier,
and they're going to feel better.
They're going to be more resilient. I have another client who, when I first took him in, he couldn't pick up a bag of soil.
Yeah.
And now he's deadlifting 350 pounds. He's 70 years old.
That's
insane. Retired police officer, 72 years old. Couldn't pick up a 20-pound bag of soil by himself, and now he's helping his daughter move a couch on his own.
So how does that make him feel? Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's telling me I gave him a second lease on life, and it almost makes me want to cry because
well, you think your life's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Having a young guy like me, coaching him, getting him some PRs, or doing well in a meet, that is extremely rewarding. But having a senior client who says you just made them feel better, they don't hurt anymore, they don't, they enjoy the things that they're doing in their life again.
Well, imagine getting to a point where your body's not capable of just things that you used to be able to do, how disheartening that. And it probably makes you feel closer to death. So in a way, you probably make him feel less scared of going out into the world because he's more capable again.
There's no greater feeling as a person that I felt than helping a senior client like that feel like they got some of their life back.
Yeah, man.
There's nothing that I've ever done that's been more rewarding than that. Screw the powerlifting, screw everything else. There's nothing I've ever done that has felt more rewarding than that.
And that goes back to just literally helping people.
Yeah. That's a lot of people, like, I mean, it's a job. It's a job.
But that's what trainers want.
We're in it. You know, anybody's lying to you if they're saying they're not doing this to make money. Because they are. It's a job, just like any other job. But you need to remember the motivations as to why you chose this career path. You can make, starting out as a trainer, you can make just as much money or more money flipping burgers at McDonald's and working half as hard.
Yep.
But you got to remember that you got into this to help people, and especially in the big box world, a lot of people, they'll, you know, all these comp plans, and you can make this much money, you can sell this training package, and people will start to forget why they got into this is to help people, and then they'll get a little money blind.
They get caught up in the race of trying to
make more money because, you know, corporations and big bosses will start promising you things if you bring this in and you do this and that. And then you just go money blind, and then you forget why you even started.
So then at some point, it's not necessarily about helping people anymore. It becomes this game of trying to maximize.
It just becomes a job again. You might as well go sell cars because that's exactly what you're doing.
Yep.
You're just selling training packages.
Salesman.
Yeah. You know, go find the 16, 17-year-old kid who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing in the gym, write him a program that he can do every month, and walk away.
Yeah,
and
just
that's
for free, right?
Yeah, like it's not going to take you forever to do that. You know, I'm not saying, like, know your worth.
Yeah.
And know and understand that what you're doing has value. But at the same time, don't penny pinch and don't oversell things that are not that hard.
I think every good trainer though usually has some kind of charitable where they're helping somebody pro bono kind of.
Oh, like, absolutely. I still take a very strong stance on the fact that if you're charging somebody for their macros, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
That's highway robbery. It takes me 5 minutes to find out what their maintenance macros are.
Yeah.
It takes me another 5 minutes to find out how many macros they should be eating to lose a pound per week. And it takes me 5 minutes more to find out how many macros they should be eating to gain a pound per week.
What do you do? Just find their TD
and
then subtract like 500 calories?
It's not that hard. And if you're charging $50, $60, $100 to give somebody their macros, and you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, and like, I'm not saying you should give things away for free, but like if there's, you know, high school kid and he's overweight and he's just trying to get in better shape, don't high road him with trying to sell him the cheapest package or, you know, trying to force his parents to pay for something. Write him a fucking program, you know, just a very basic, you know, 5x5 on this, 4x10 on this, 3x12 on this. Do that at workout 3 times a week. Do this workout 3 times. Like, just help. It's not gonna get. It's not.
When people did that for us.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like,
make something that I did was I made templates.
Yep.
Is I would, you know, here's person A. Here's person B, here's person C.
So like this is a workout I would use for this type of person.
Yeah, this is a person I'd use for a 16-year-old kid who's skinny and trying to get bigger and stronger. Here's a workout that I'd give 50-year-old lady who's trying to just feel better. Here's a workout that I'd give the overweight person who's just trying to move better and lose weight. Like, just make some of those.
Yep.
And then, you know, they're cookie cutter. Give those to free. Give those to people for free. And then if you need to specialize things more and you're taking them on as a client and you're training them in person on a weekly basis, then they can afford it. Then that's when you. But like, give some people just some fucking help.
Dude, you gotta go just find the richest motherfuckers and scam them. That's what you gotta do.
I mean,
Just finding all like the most dirty
Go
rich
down
people.
to Arizona or fucking California or something.
Just be like,
and
pay me money.
pay me money. I know how to do this and lie about that. And,
Yeah, I think there's a lot. You're right. I mean, I think in that industry, it's kind of like we were even talking about FX subs. Like, the supplement industry is so shady that it was cool talking to Tony because I believe that FX subs is trying to do things the right way.
Well, they're not in retail supplement stores.
Yeah,
and that's a good thing.
Which when they're like, that's what the whole non-negotiable thing means.
About 60 to 70% of everything in like a GNC store is not what it says it is.
Oh, they're all bullshit.
Yeah.
GNC is the worst.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like super supplements, there's a lot of good stuff in there.
You want to find out what you should take and what you shouldn't take. On completely unbiased opinion, go look at pro sports banned supplements list.
Yep.
Go look at NFL, NBA, any of that, and look at or college football or anything, and look at the list of where they can get their stuff from and where they can't. And right there, boom, GNC. You buy any GNC product or anything from there, done.
Dude, to me, GNC is almost like one of the worst because like everything's always like these crazy claims, and then they're all like proprietary blend.
Oh,
you don't even know
anything
what's
that says proprietary blend.
And it's like magic deer antler velvet shit. Just like they
velvet
make all this
deer
crazy
antler.
shit. It's like it's gonna make your dick 10 inches long.
Yeah, it's good testosterone booster. You'll put 300 pounds. I mean, and we all bought into
when
that
you're a
or
kid,
something.
you buy into some of that
God,
shit.
the amount of money that I spent on supplements
supplements
that I thought was gonna get me bigger and stronger. Like, God damn it! Man.
I know, what a waste of
all
money.
that money back. Yeah, it's
not that original Jack 3D formula.
Oh, well, I'll take a.
Did you ever have that shit?
Oh yeah,
dude. They said it's basically like meth.
Oh, so what it has?
It
has a strand of meth in it. So it doesn't have straight up meth in it, but it has a strand of it mixed in there that gives you that rush.
Same type of feeling.
Yes. So that and Craze.
Craze had it too. So I remember that. I never took the original Jack 3D formula.
And it was different.
But I remember some people, I think like my uncle took it and he just got shredded one summer. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's different. It's definitely, it was
getting people lean as fuck.
I would definitely, if I could, like,
just for fun.
Just one more time.
Yeah.
I had a buddy that I trained
I like stims, dude. So
I had a buddy that I trained with in high school, and he found a old school tin of Craze. And it was all dry. It was all dry
like, dude,
and
let's
clumpy.
put some water
Oh,
in this
no,
shit.
he was just like, dude, let's just take a big glob, chew it, swallow it, and hit some deadlifts. I'm like, that's a fucking great idea. Bro. This thing was like 4 years expired. But he's just like, let's just have a good time. I'm like,
why not, dude? You only live once.
18 at the time. I don't give a fuck.
I remember when I was in college, we had this like shit. It was like the pro hormone era.
Yeah,
so, like, there was all these things. It was like this stuff was called 1AD.
Yep, I know the
remember
whole
1AD.
Yeah, that stuff's gonna.
It was legal steroids.
Yeah,
basically.
Well, it's essentially what SARMs are now.
Legal steroids.
SARMs are poison.
I don't take them.
It is.
You know what's funny? That meme you posted with like the broccoli hair and the cross earring. Those kids are all on SARMs and shit.
Yeah, honestly,
they call them SARM goblins.
Anybody who knows, SARM goblins, anything that knows a thing or two about that kind of stuff, especially performance enhancers and anything like that, you're way better off just buying some fucking test.
Yeah.
Don't. You're gonna destroy your liver and kidneys
1,000,000%
with
dude.
SARMs. And what? Just to still be natty, like
it's
just to
so
go halfway,
stupid. Well, that's the thing. They'll say they're natty because they're on that. Because they're not injecting a needle into their body. That's why they consider.
Which it doesn't. That doesn't even label any like.
But the pills go through your liver.
Exactly. There's so many things that you can take that could be labeled as a performance enhancer that is done by an injection.
Yeah.
That is so much better for you and has zero negative effect on you because it. There's a product out by Better by Biology on Instagram. I'm not associated with them, but my coaches use Solely 10 for his code.
Use Solely 10.
But anyways,
promo code.
It's called Nectar, which it's a 300 milligram vial. It's 300 milligrams of carnitine.
Yep.
And 150 milligrams of choline.
Okay.
And it's an injection.
Yep.
But usually when you say the injection, everybody stops there. And they go, no.
That shit,
but then I tell them, you're literally just injecting an amino acid.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you're doing is you're injecting vitamins. You're injecting
there's
amino
those
acid.
IV drip places.
Yeah.
Where I guess you
it's
feel
the same thing.
amazing afterwards.
It's the same thing. You take a little bit of that nectar before a workout. Just before a workout,
right.
You're gonna feel like a jet engine.
It's not some kind of evil banned substance either.
No.
You're literally just giving your body something it needs, like you said, that we probably lack from our regular diet.
It's gonna help. It helps with the process of using fat for energy.
Yeah.
So if you're a fat fuck like me, you got a lot of energy.
It's just gonna help you.
It helps with muscle contraction, mind-muscle connection, and if you use actual PEDs, it helps with that process as well. So you don't have to use as much of the bad shit anymore. You use some of this, and then it's actually going to help your stuff work more. Mm-hmm. There's people just, they'll listen to their gym bro, especially when it comes to the female side of things. When I hear that a woman, that a coach says, "Oh, do you need to go on Anavar for 20 weeks?" A lot of women don't understand what that's going to do to them.
I don't know much about the female
taking
substances,
very briefly. Like Anavar, the reason it's prescribed a lot for women in the bodybuilding and sports performance scenario is because it's a very low risk.
Yep.
It's not gonna impact and give them a lot of those mannish side effects. Right. But what it is gonna do is it shuts down a woman's natural estrogen production levels.
Which is
so you're going to stop producing as much estrogen as you normally would. Mm-hmm. On top of that, it's not even enough testosterone to give you increased test levels. So you have women that have been on this for 6 months to a year. They're shutting down their natural estrogen production levels, and they don't even have the testosterone of a 12-year-old boy.
Damn, I feel like they shouldn't even be on something for that long.
So it's
for like a year?
Yeah, there's women that will go on that for a year and then their hormones are gone.
And does that affect the ability to have children and stuff like that too? Yeah,
absolutely. Just imagine a guy taking for whatever reason a supplement to boost their estrogen.
Yeah,
think of
one reason.
But then they stop producing testosterone completely.
Yeah.
What's that going to do to a guy? Now, switch that for a woman, it's 10 times worse.
Right.
10 times worse. Because they've got way more bodily functions that are relying off of their hormone levels.
I mean, I feel like other than a guy that wanted to go through a transition and become a female, a man going on estrogen would be the worst thing for him.
Well, there's males produce estrogen naturally as well.
We do some of it as well. We use it.
And when men have extremely low estrogen, it's a horrible time. It's a bad time.
There's like a balance in both male and female body.
So you can be prescribed estrogen as a man. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But that it's like, think about it that way. You're a male with low estrogen. You get prescribed an estrogen supplement, but that estrogen supplement stops you from
having tests.
And
without both, you're fucked.
Yeah. So it's the same thing with women. Because they overload that testosterone side, they stop producing the estrogen, but on the end, that testosterone side's overloaded, but it's not even enough to be like a normal
12-year-old boy. Like you said.
It's crazy. And
it's
that's
interesting because I don't know much about that. Like with the female, what they go through in different female competitions and what kind of stuff they use, I have no idea.
I feel very...
The closest thing I know is like China.
Yeah.
WWE. Like women that end up looking like that.
But women that end up looking like that are also very genetically gifted.
China was.
You're not going to... It's just like with men and just like with anybody. It's like you're not going to start taking a grandma test and look like Mr. Olympia in a year.
Right, so there could be a woman that's taking tests and she still looks completely like a woman.
Dude, I know so many people that take 3 times the amount of stuff that some world record holders do to bench 225 in the fucking gym.
Yeah, that
like
seems kind of.
we're all broken out with acne.
It's like, what are you doing?
And yeah, it's just like, that just stems from there not being enough information out there, or people not willing to look.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be shocked at how many people, or maybe you wouldn't be, but like how many people, or a guy will go up and say, "Hey, you're pretty strong. Why don't you take this or get stronger?" And people just will do it.
Yeah, that's silly. I think half the problem with like performance enhancers is that they're not legal. So it's like
it can't be regulated.
We can't, and people don't know what if it was more like studied and we had more procedural, like, you know, because it probably can be super safe.
So look at, I don't know how well you follow bodybuilding, but look at who Mr. Olympia is right now. It's Big Ramy.
Okay.
Big Ramy's over in that Dubai area and everything.
Yep.
Where it's legal. Now, because it's legal, it is manufactured and created by the government.
Pure.
And it's pure. It's not...
Some jackass is making it on his stove.
Exactly. It's filtered properly. It's pure. So he has to take less. It works better.
Right.
And the health drawbacks are not as bad.
Right, because here you take some shit and all of a sudden your leg's puffed up and you're fucking... Somebody did some shit wrong.
Somebody could be making it and then literally take a syringe, pull half of it out, shoot it into another bottle, and shoot olive oil in there.
Oh, dude.
Because what's that mean? Oh, they just doubled. They just doubled their product.
Right.
So they just made more money.
Like cutting Coke with other powdery substances.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. I'm rude today. Fentanyl's making a lot of rounds right now and a lot of stuff. I hope to God that it does not make its way into the PED circuit, because if it does, people are going to start dropping like flies.
They're going to start dying. Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's already terrible in the drug world because people are dying from that shit.
And things are starting to get better because TRT clinics and hormone replacement therapy and all that kind of stuff.
It's huge around
It's starting to get a lot better. So that kind of stuff. So there's hope. There's hope that eventually, because I think this should be, if it was all legal, I mean, it's just like the same argument for marijuana.
Well, it's also kind of like, why are marijuana and steroids are both class 1?
Right.
And then you have like stuff like
Coke and
heroin is like class 2. Like,
yeah.
Are you fucking serious? Like,
yeah. If it was legal and all that stuff was legal, then you could regulate it. You could go to a doctor. You could go to a clinic and be like, look, I do this. I want to accomplish this. How can I do this the safest way possible?
And why shouldn't you be able to?
And then the government can make fucking money off of that.
Yeah.
Why it is so demonized, I don't understand.
No idea,
it's just terrible.
Especially like the TRT levels, like people that started in their 40s.
Yeah.
You're telling me there's something you can do for yourself that's going to make you feel good?
Make you feel like you're 20 years old again.
For the rest of your life, up into your 60s and 70s, and you're not going to take it?
What about males who have had to go through cancer and lose both of their jewels?
Give them tests.
You know, and they get prescribed. You know, without that, their life is gone. The quality of life goes away. So without things like hormone replacement therapy and TRT and all that, those guys don't have a quality of life anymore.
I tell people that all the time when they're complaining about their weight or they're older and they're not feeling good anymore. I'm like, do you guys see Jeffrey Bezos?
Yeah.
Do you see how much better and healthier that guy looks? Yeah. You can't tell me he is not on TRT and lifting weights. And he started out as this nerdy Amazon guy. And now he looks like a kind of jacked, like Mr. Clean. And he's dating some girl, even though she was more into Leo, whatever. He looks pretty fucking happy and healthy. Like,
is it really that big of a deal to go to a clinic, get your blood test done, and find out if you got low testosterone?
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. And because you could, if you've tried everything, and most of the people complaining about this have not tried everything. They haven't tried to get in better shape. They haven't tried to get better.
Should be first.
All that kind of stuff. But like, let's just
try everything.
Let's just say you have, like, you're 45 years old. Everything hurts.
Right.
You can't lose weight. You're always upset. And you tried all the stuff you should do first. Is it really that big of a deal to go to a clinic, get your blood test done, and find out? Okay, so what if you don't have low testosterone? Okay, then find the next thing that you can do. And then what if you do? Then you take that. Guess what? You take that little injection
Yeah.
once a week, and you got your fucking life back.
All of a sudden, you're not yelling at your kids every day. You're not getting pissed off in traffic because all of a sudden you start feeling better about yourself.
You start feeling like you should, because a lot of people, especially with testosterone and things like that, it's going to make you more of what you are and what you're supposed to be. Because testosterone helps a man be a man.
Right.
It just does. That's just what it functionally and chemically does. Now,
it makes you feel better.
If you have less of that, then you're going to be less of what you should be. If you have more of that, you're going to be more of what you should be. So, if you are say you're a hugger.
Yep.
And you go on testosterone, you're probably going to want to hug more people. You're probably going to want to hug more people. But say you are an outwardly confrontational person, getting bar fights a lot. You go on testosterone, you're probably going to get more bar fights.
I think you're probably right. I could see one scenario where, like, if you are somebody who's, like, lost some of that feeling and you're feeling shitty about yourself and you're depressed all the time, and then you get on testosterone and life starts to feel easier, you might actually...
It might go...
I could see that. I know exactly what you mean, though. Your point is it amplifies what's already there. So, like, somebody's on testosterone, it doesn't mean they're going to be an asshole or roid rage or all this.
No.
That was already there, probably.
Yeah.
But I could actually see some grumpy old man, I shouldn't say old man, but guy in their 50s, feels like life's passed them by, they don't feel as good anymore, they're not able to do the things they used to do, and then they get on test, and all of a sudden they feel happier, healthier, they start becoming more thankful, they're helping people more, because like they got their, it's kind of like you do with these guys when you say they're 70, and you give them their mobility back, you're giving them this like new lease on life.
Yeah.
I could see almost a positive effect.
It is, yeah, and there are some compounds that will cause those, roid.
I think so.
There are some things that like tren.
In PEDs, when people are getting into some of these crazy compounds like tren and
what we're talking about right now is we're talking just straight up testosterone.
Yes,
that's it. And
just testosterone.
And that is
replacement.
not anything bad at all. When we start getting into things like tren,
those could cause some crazy shit.
Tren is like a lot of things have been developed in the sense of the PED world that are now made for human consumption. Yep. Tren is still made for fucking horses.
Holy shit.
It is literally made for race horses to get bigger, stronger, and faster. That is what tren is, and that is what it is for, and that is a person
this fucking racehorse shit in your body.
And so people wonder why it works so much, because it does.
It turns you into a fucking
horse. But
a
horse does not need to worry about what what people think about them.
Yeah.
A horse doesn't need to worry about what that guy said about his girlfriend.
So really that guy over there didn't do shit, but you're on tren and in your mind you just think like he just called you out, like he didn't say anything about
he didn't.
What that motherfucker said?
It's not even a big deal. It's because it's literally for a racehorse.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
But that shows you what people are willing to do to get bigger and stronger. They'll shoot something in their body that's for a fucking horse.
Racehorse.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I mean, shit, man. That is crazy.
But whatever. Just fucking.
Well, I think when it comes to competition, dude, people do crazy shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, why was Lance Armstrong doing blood doping? Because everybody else was.
Well, with Lance Armstrong, he was, and it goes back to all these there's these PED alternatives. What T.J. Dillashaw got popped for.
Okay.
It's what is it called? But it's I'm thinking of the name. Essentially, what it does is it allows your body to produce more oxygen in your blood cells.
That's what it was. Yep.
So you're able to work harder while you're in a deficit. So he did this while he was talking about TJ. He did this while he was prepping for his fight with Henry Cejudo.
Okay.
Henry Cejudo was the next weight class down for him.
So he's like in
TJ's
a strict
already
deficit, trying to lose weight.
When TJ's already, when he's getting for his fight in his class, he's already very, very lean. Okay. And now he had to drop another 11 pounds.
Right.
So how the hell is he going to be able to train optimally?
So he should be so depleted, he will have no energy.
Yeah, but you take this.
Oxygen
and
in the blood.
More oxygen in the blood, and he's able to keep his work capacity.
All of a sudden, you're a
up,
fucking machine.
EPO, that's what it's called, EPO.
Yeah.
And all the big time cyclists take it.
Yeah.
You think people at the CrossFit Games don't take this kind of stuff?
I guarantee it.
They all do, but it's for the most part legal. The WADA only recently started being able to test for it, and that's why TJ Dillashaw got popped.
Right.
And guess what? He came back, and he just got fucking rocked by Aljamain Sterling. So
because he wasn't able to use that.
Yeah.
God, that's crazy what competition makes people do, man.
Yeah, but hey,
I don't know either, because
I get the mindset.
I do too, because I get it. Like, it's kind of like, I don't know, even with like drugs and stuff like that, I'm kind of like more leaning towards people should just do what they want.
And that's how it should be. Yeah, just don't do it where it's not allowed. Like in powerlifting.
Right, like I don't, like I think there's, in competition, I think it's right that they test for things.
There's a lifter, so in the IPF, which is the natural, the tested side of powerlifting, which is the quote-unquote most prestigious federation, blah, 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 whatever. One of their people just got popped.
Yep.
For D-ball.
Okay.
This is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Okay. This is somebody who has 6 or 7 different world titles.
Okay.
Their total has not gone up substantially in the last year or two.
Yeah.
And they just popped. So, how long have they been doing this?
I mean, probably a long time.
Drug tested does not mean drug free.
No, I think drug tested just means we're going to work around what we can work around.
So, if so, that's the only part. If you're going to take shit, take whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. Just don't make a big deal about it and don't make it everybody else's problem. But if you do it under the sanction of something that is supposed to be drug free, you're an asshole.
I think so too.
You just are. There was another guy, his name's Kelly, who was a Canadian lifter, and their big super heavyweight guy.
Yeah.
And he popped one year, and he popped for everything. He popped for like 2 different SARMs. He popped for Tren. He popped for D-ball.
What the fuck?
And he popped for so much stuff, and he claimed tainted supplements, right? And
that's what happened with John Jones.
Some of this stuff is only injectable compounds, right? And you're claiming, like, if you start taking Tren, like, out of the blue, your lifts are going to go up. You're going to look fucking jacked, red, and puffy. And there was no difference. There's no, so.
He's been on it for a long time then.
How long have you been doing it?
So the weird thing is, that's always seems to be their defense whenever they get popped.
Tainted supplements.
Tainted. It's like.
It was Barry Bonds started that.
Like tainted supplements.
I think it was Barry Bonds that started that whole tainted supplement thing.
I'm not saying that tainted supplements can't be a thing where there's some little bit of in these containers.
Some of the places where
factory wasn't cleaned properly.
Yeah, some of the places where these compounds are, where regular ass supplements like pre-workout and protein.
Yep.
Some of those places are also things like wellness clinics and things like that, where that stuff's manufactured as well. And maybe somebody did not filter something properly.
Right.
And it ended up a trace amount.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely possible. And that's the unfortunate thing, is tainted supplements is a real thing. It is not as common as people proclaim it to
No,
be.
it's an easy cop-out. Like John Jones saying it was like, no way, John. Like, that dude's...
Come on.
Yeah. I guarantee he's a wild dude. Like,
I lost a lot of respect for John Jones. I used to be a big...
When was it? What, during that? Or
no, the last incident with him in Vegas and his children and his...
I didn't hear anything about it.
Oh, yeah. He, So, and Dana
I just
White,
think, I know he's a wild dude.
Dana White said, we just need to not have him come to Vegas anymore. It was the night he accepted an award for going in the UFC Hall of Fame for one of his fights. I think it was his fight with whatever the blonde dude's name was. But he accepted an award to go in the Hall of Fame for one of his fights.
Okay.
And then one of his girlfriend later that night came down to the lobby and looked rough.
Oh, like he beat up on his
So the
girlfriend.
cops were called, and he was intoxicated.
Yeah.
The kids were crying, and there's there's nothing. It's not like she was all bruised and bloodied or anything, but she looked very distraught.
So something was definitely.
And then he was arrested, and he was yelling and screaming about, why are you doing this to me? Why are you belittling me? And he's smashing his head on the hood of the cop car, and you're just looking at him like, this ain't right.
You got some fucked up
Craig
shit.
Jackson, who's been his coach and his mentor and has had him in his gym since John started, kicked him out. Yeah. And it's like, you're not welcome back until you fix things. So
he's probably got some mental health.
There's some stuff going on. It's unfortunate because he's literally one of the most gifted athletes I've ever seen.
I think so too.
But his biggest enemy is himself. Yeah. Every time he's lost progress or anything, it's because of...
Some people just can't get a handle on that. Like, whatever the thing is that, like, drives them to greatness is kind of the same thing that's, like, fucking
There's a demon.
There's a demon in there.
But shortly after, like, the media died down with all that incident happening, his girlfriend left and then everything. And
well, look at fucking Kanye right
just
now.
kind of quietly exited, and then that's soon after that, Craig Jackson kicked him out of the gym. Yep. So it's kind of like, man, yeah, he really, like, a few times you could maybe give a small argument here and there. This time it was, no, he really fucked up, and I stuck by him
through some other fuck-ups. Yeah.
Through some other fuck-ups, but after this one, I was like, man, you've just had too many chances. And
my favorite's probably Israel Adesanya.
Izzy's good.
Because he's a guy that's like crazy and wild, but he's so talented, but he doesn't do a lot of that fucking up shit.
No.
He doesn't give you a lot of reason to like think he's a piece of shit or anything.
Usman was probably one of the better role models of the sport, but he just got knocked the fuck out by Leon Edwards in the 5th round. Okay. That was one of the most incredible comeback victories.
No shit. So you keep up on UFC quite a bit, too.
Oh, I'm a huge MMA fan.
Because I do not keep up with it anymore.
Huge MMA fan. That.
So you're keeping up with pro wrestling, because like, you know more about current pro wrestling than I do, and you're keeping up with UFC, dude. That's cool.
Yeah, I try to watch UFC when I can. Unfortunately, a lot of the events wind up on stream days. Right. Because I do a lot of shit. We also have I also do a D&D, a Dungeons and Dragons stream 3 times a month. And, I'm a big fucking nerd, whatever.
Dude, look at I have fucking toys.
Yeah,
you don't have to fucking...
But yeah, we with some of my friends, we do a Dungeons and Dragons stream. Yeah. We have a Twitch channel, we have a YouTube channel.
That's dope. Dude, I had a paranormal guy in here yesterday. I'm like, I love nerding out.
Heads. It's but yeah, we do that 3 times a month. 3 Saturdays out every month. We got a Halloween stream on Saturday. We're doing a special thing for that. But yeah, usually that day winds up on fight days, so I don't get to watch that much anymore. And UFC they used to let you watch the pay-per-view for free the day after. So I would just not pay attention to social media, so I wouldn't know who won the fight, and then I would watch it the day after. Now they make you pay full price, so I stopped doing that.
I would love to go see that next fight. I think it's the 12th. That's when that Israel Adesanya fight is.
Izzy Adesanya fighting on the 12th.
Yeah, I can't remember who he's fighting.
Is it Paulo? Is he fighting Costa?
No, it's not him.
It's not Costa? I don't remember.
I think it's the guy that beat him.
It's the guy that knocked him out.
It's the guy that beat him last, yeah.
It's the only guy to ever, quote-unquote, knock him out. Yeah, Alexander Pereira.
Right, I would love to go see that. So that's on a Saturday night. I'm like, maybe I should just take that Saturday off work.
Is that here?
And go to a different bar and watch it.
Go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
I was going to say a lot of places will show the fight. Buffalo Wild Wings is great, honestly.
Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings puts it on the TV, so.
Dude, a lot of dive bars will play it, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like
you can just call a bar and say, hey, you guys going to have the pay-per-view on? Right. Back when I worked at a commercial gym still, I was working that night. I was like, hey, can I just buy the pay-per-view and put it on all the TVs? I was like, sure.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that shit because if they bust you for like, there's some price you have to pay. Like bars have to pay a crazy price for like commercially showing a pay-per-view. Yeah, so but like for those dive bars or like Buffalo Wild Wings, it's totally worth it because they're packed.
Yeah, no, you got to get like normally I don't say get a reservation at Buffalo Wild Wings. You have to get a reservation.
Dude, I bet fight night's fun there.
It's fun. Yeah.
No shit, I love Buffalo Wild Wings. I think their shit's great.
So good. Yeah.
I love wings.
Dude. Wings and sushi.
How do you not love wings too?
Right.
It's like you get chicken wings with different cool flavors.
Yeah.
And they're fun. A lot of them are spicy.
Yeah.
And like,
wings are great. I haven't had a lot of wings. Maybe I'll have some wings today.
I should have wings next time I do a cheat day because like I've had the sushi. I've done.
I had an absolutely killer sushi day yesterday.
Where'd you go?
I went to Kai Sushi and Roll on Colby Avenue.
No shit.
I had
Kai as in K.
K-A-I.
Okay, I'm gonna remember
sushi
that. I'm always looking for a good sushi place.
But yeah, I had 4 full plates, 2 full rolls.
Oh my god.
2 10 plates of nigiri. It was great.
Dude, that sounds fucking amazing.
So
I love sushi, and I definitely right now I've started bulking. Like I told you, my coach is on my case because I got so addicted to trying to be lean, trying to look like a little sexy little hoe on Instagram, and I gotta quit. I gotta get out of that mentality and get back in that mentality of gaining strength because otherwise, for the show, I'm gonna have no fucking size. And what are you gonna do? You have to. I have a lot of work to do, dude. I'm not you know. It's like.
But just remember to have fun with it.
Well, it is fun, dude. I just like I said, I've been lifting since like 2002.
Yeah.
Like, so that means since 2002, there has not been 1 week of my life where I've been out of the gym. Yeah. Which is kind of crazy if you think about it.
I had the first, like, full week of not being in the gym probably in about a good 10 years when I was on my honeymoon.
But that was such for a good reason.
Dude,
and honestly, I saw you guys' Instagram, and it looked so fucking cool.
I got antsy.
But you were, like, craving the gym.
Day 9, so I was good, but day 9 hit. I had already watched the previous weekend. I had 3 friends compete. Oh. And then that next weekend, I had 4 more friends compete. And
you just started like itching, like.
And my coach would not let me touch a barbell the whole. I could still go work out, but that's not gonna scratch the itch for me.
Well, no, when you're doing these heavy lifts,
I couldn't touch a barbell the whole time I was gone. So, like, my wife told me, she's like, your mood changed a little bit by day 9. You got a little more short, and because I was just kind of like.
People don't realize you are who you are because of the things you do.
Yeah.
So, like, lifting is a healthy part of your life that, I mean, I think a lot of people that are assholes, if they would start working out, would be less of an asshole.
I started having less fun on my honeymoon because I wasn't
lifting.
I wasn't training. Yeah.
But also, the food and stuff and, like, the sights you guys, it looked awesome.
It was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was worth it, and I know I needed it, and I know it was good for me, but the thing inside of me is just sitting here going, what the fuck are you doing?
It was good for your wife, too.
Oh, yeah.
She probably
much better for her than it was for me.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty special, dude, when you find somebody that you love and you can go share those kind of moments together.
Yeah, we were in Hawaii for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Longest vacation I've ever had. I've never taken that long of a vacation ever again.
Keep it short so you can get back to the gym. Because then you'll actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or do a vacation where you get to work out somehow.
So, yeah. Well, we'll be down. We'll have an interesting April next year because we'll both be in prep.
Yeah.
I'm competing at the beginning of April, April 8th, down in Texas, South Padre Island.
Badass.
The Pioneer Open on the Beach.
Fuck yeah.
This meet is normally a pro meet, but they did open registration for it this time, and it's $100,000 on the line.
Damn.
Of total prize money. I'm not gonna win.
Yeah.
I asked my coach, I was like, hey, this is gonna be a big meet. Some heavy hitters are gonna show up. Do you think this is worth doing? He's like, fuck yeah, it is. So I was like,
just
all right,
for the experience.
And I said, all right, for the experience. So I was like, as long as I don't place last.
Dude, I'd love to go to Texas for some reason.
Well,
I've never been there.
It's South Padre Island. So this is there's
island.
a gulf of islands on the Gulf Coast of Texas.
Okay.
Which is all resort islands. Like, when I looked this place up, I'd never heard of South Padre Island, Texas. I just signed up for the meet, and then I saw where it was, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. And then I look up, all resort hotels. Yeah. All resort. I'm like, oh shit. So we'll be doing that at the beginning of the month, while she's got the show at the end of the month.
But so she's not going to really be able to enjoy that. Because you got to stay in that prep mentality.
Yeah, so
she doesn't want to get carried away with like enjoying shit. You know what I mean? Or you'll throw off everything.
I'll owe her one. After that, we might have.
So you'll be able to enjoy, but she won't.
Well, I'll be able to enjoy, but I'll be able to enjoy like post meet.
After your meet.
Yeah.
But she's not. Her thing doesn't come till later. So you're gonna be like pressure's off me for a few weeks while she's still like in this grind.
I'm pretty good about not being an asshole with the food around her when she's in prep. Because I
almost
still
have to, dude. Because that's hard, man.
I still eat pretty clean for a power lifter.
Yeah.
But
I've seen your stories. You do. I see a lot of. You even have you're sponsored by a meal prep.
Icon Meals.
Icon Meals. They look fucking awesome.
Yeah, they're good. I love Icon Meals. Very good quality food.
Those meal prep companies are pretty awesome. I think a lot
they've
of
got
WWE guys.
Extremely good macro spread. Like the meal I have today is double protein.
Yeah.
So steak, chicken, and saffron rice. And it's 67 grams of protein and 62 grams of carbs.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So you can easily create your macros using these meals.
And then, like, for me, I typically need more carbs than that, so I'll just cook some
rice cakes, more rice.
Cook some potatoes or more rice and just throw it in on there and just go for it.
Yep.
But yeah, I still eat pretty clean, quote unquote, for the most part. It's basically... Right now, I'm actually not eating a whole lot. I'm only eating about 4 meals a day, and right now it's basically 3 clean meals, 1 crap meal.
Right.
Just for the extra calories.
Yes.
But like last time with prep, like,
and when you say crap, it's probably still decent.
Yeah, it's not like when I say crap, I'm like going to sushi or like going down the street and getting.
That's
something.
fun.
Yeah. But when I was in prep, it's 7 meals a day.
All clean.
6,500, not all clean.
Okay.
6,500 calories per day.
That's a lot.
2 shakes.
I remember during my last bulk, he had me up close to the 6,000 for a while.
It's basically if I'm not doing something, I'm eating something. So like
I felt like shit.
If I got some downtime, eating a granola bar.
Yeah.
If I'm driving, munching on candy. Like it's just calories and keeping my blood sugar up.
Dude,
all day.
When he had me in the last bulk, like at the beginning of it, it was like huge bowl of cereal after my lift. And I was so excited. By the end of the bulk, I hated cereal. I wanted to die when I was eating.
I killed my love of ice cream because of that.
Yeah.
When I switched federations from USAPL to USPA, the weight classes changed.
Yep.
So I went from being a top end 231 to needing to get to 240 to getting to 275. Damn. So I had to gain 44 pounds. I ate a pint of Ben & Jerry's every fucking night.
That's why some people retire from powerlifting and lifting. They get so tired of just their body needing to be huge.
5 months, I ate a pint of Ben & Jerry's every single fucking night.
So right now that sounds amazing to me, but I bet you got sick of it.
So I'll still go out for ice cream or have dessert at dinner, right? But I won't bring ice cream home. I won't bring home like a pint or a tub of ice cream and have it. Like I can't.
Going out for ice cream is one of the coolest cheats ever though, because like if you go to some of these places, even we went to that gluten-free, dairy-free ice cream place that's like honestly, dude, like it makes
you froyo kind of place.
No, it was called I'll figure it out. It's in Seattle. I was thinking it was going to be disgusting because it was insane.
There's right by my
and the waffle cone.
Right by my tattoo artist's studio.
Where do you go?
So for all of this on my arm and then on my leg, it's Katink Inc. Up in Cedro Woolley. Kat has done all this.
It's amazing
Kelly
shit.
has done that. Over here, one of my clients, Miriam.
That I fucking love.
That
is a dragon. For people listening, they can't see this, but
Ink Lounge in Everett. Right here, that was Enemy Tattoo in Everett. Right here was a buddy from high school did this one.
Okay.
Named Sam Lewis out in Arlington. But anyways,
my favorite is that right arm and that fucking dragon, dude.
Love
That's
it.
insane.
I just love tattoos.
They're great.
None of my tattoos mean anything. They literally none of them.
They're just cool.
I just love dope artwork.
Yeah.
Most of them I've walked in and had no clue what the fuck I was getting.
But it is dope artwork.
Yeah.
It's really cool, man.
I just like cool looking stuff. I mean, I guess the only thing that really means something is I just love dragons. So I have 4 dragons on me.
Same. I'm obsessed with dragons right now, yeah.
But, yeah, there's a pizza place right by her studio that does a gluten-free crust. I normally would go like, oh, this is shit.
It's amazing.
It's
right.
so
Sometimes they do these things and you're like, you have a bad idea.
I'll never order the gluten-free anything. But if somebody is telling me, hey, this is really good, try this, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. Yeah. And, just about as anti-healthy other than the gluten-free thing you could be. I mean, stacked high with meat and cheese. Yeah. Just a gluten-free crust. And I'm just like, oh, this is so
Well, it's like most of these things, like vegan, all that stuff, like, it doesn't mean healthy.
No.
Because it's like, you can have gluten-free and vegan, and it's still packed with a bunch of excess calories.
Right.
But it's like, and now I think that a lot of these gluten-free, vegan, GMO, like, they've gotten so good at making this stuff that it's like
all
gourmet shit. Yeah.
It's
well, you could be vegan and eating the shittiest and be fat. Actually, I was just listening to...
I know way more people that are overweight that say they're vegan.
Yeah, because they're eating processed shit.
Yeah, it's all processed stuff. Like, I'm not saying you should go eat 6 pounds of red meat a day, but your body would probably be a little bit happier with
your body would be like, wow, I needed these nutrients.
With a steak or two and some chicken.
Then a bunch of processed
tofu and fake ass anything.
That is true, man. It's just the processed shit. If you're eating a bunch of vegetables and beans and stuff, I'm sure that's super healthy.
If you want to lose a ton of weight, eat 3 pounds of broccoli.
Yeah, but a lot of times people are eating a bunch of processed vegan bullshit. Yeah. Anyway, dude, like, we're almost at 2 hours, so I think it's a good spot to end it. But
all right, man.
What do you have any sponsors you want to shout out?
Yeah, so FX Supplements, local here in Washington. Code is all caps FX Slam 25. We have there's a Halloween sale that starts tomorrow, 35% off on the entire order.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Special right now is elderberry gummies, and we just rolled out new creatine formula.
Which is awesome.
Yep. Yeah. Iron Rebel, discount code there is Diesel 10. They do all of my gear right now, all of my sleeves, wrist wraps, all my equipment for lifting. They just rolled out brand new sleeves, the PR sleeves, which are super, super tight, but go by the size chart or you're going to have to cut them off like I did.
I saw that, man. That was crazy.
And then Icon Meals, that code is SAM10. And yeah, it's just good food.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Ships really quickly. That's the big thing, is they ship within 3-4 days.
Hell yeah.
And it's overnight, one night shipping.
Mm-hmm. So, and then shout out to Ego Gym, obviously.
Yep. Ego Strength and Performance. We're in Everett, right off of Evergreen Way. We're smack in between the Chevy and the Toyota dealership. Come check me out. We have a squad event going on the 12th. It's going to start around 10:45 a.m. $5 to come join. There's going to be prizes, possibly some new merch. We'll see.
Sick.
And and then we got a little costume Halloween lifting thing
get together.
We're gonna do this weekend. It's on Sunday.
Well, hell yeah, dude. That sounds awesome, man. I appreciate you being here again.
Man. Absolutely.
This was fucking great, and thank you for giving me the tour of your gym.
Absolutely.
The other day, it was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. But okay, guys. Well, thank you all for listening, and we will see you next time. Sam, I really appreciate your time.
Always.
And peace out, everybody.